So, things took a turn yesterday, and I didn't expect things to blow up in this way. I did not expect a boycott toward Genshin for their stubborn, stingy ways, and update 4.4 for Genshin being mid and adding fuel to the fire, to then take a turn to what went down yesterday. This community went absolutely nuclear. And it's absolutely crazy. It just was a case of everything getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it literally, in the most simplest form, this community went absolutely nuclear. Absolutely nuclear. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, for you guys that don't know, Braxphone is a really good Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail creator. He makes guides on characters as they come out, and they're honestly really informative guides. I really do enjoy his guides. But he ended up sharing a story, multiple stories actually, about his experience with this dude named Atsu. And to put it simply, I don't want to just go over everything, but to put it simply, he and Atsu didn't hit it off very well. They met up, Atsu got some weird vibes. He never really elaborated on what those vibes are. Braxophone admits that in social settings he is a bit awkward. Maybe that played a role, who knows? Because that's the thing. To, again, put it simply, and you can read it in this text here, between Atsu and Braxophone, but to sum things up, Atsu just says that he can't vibe with him, and that's fine. Not everyone has to be friends. I'm a person who has limited friends. I understand that. But if he just left it at that and said, hey, I just can't vibe with you. I don't think we can be really friends because I think you maybe have like different personalities. Like our personality traits just don't mesh well. If he just left it at that, that's fine. But he went the extra mile and say, I can't say in good faith that I trust you to respect certain degrees of privacy or to keep things truly confidential. I don't think you're a bad person, but I don't think I can really vibe with you on a friend level. If he just put the, I don't think I can really vibe with you on a friend level, cool. But to go the extra mile and say, I can't trust you, I don't think you can respect certain degrees of privacy, and yada yada yada, that's just going the extra mile. But to Braxophone's credit, he says, and I'll sum all this up to what his last thing was, thanks again for the honesty and I respect that decision. If you ever wanted to chat, don't be a stranger, no hard feelings. He took it on the chin, but he later on says that the whole thing about the trustworthiness, keeping things truly confidential, just messed with him. But it goes further and further to the point where Atsu basically excommunicados him. And that's the thing. He keeps on trying to go to these conventions. He keeps on trying to go to these Genshin Impact meetups. But when he gets to the conventions and it's time to do the Genshin Impact creator meetups, he finds out he's not invited. He has friends in those groups, but they keep on telling him, hey, we can't bring you along because someone, and it always points to Atsu in the end, says that he's basically blacklisted him. And he even gets with Genshin Impact representatives. They're telling him, yo, and it just turns out that Atsu just doesn't like you. And I'm putting this simply just so I can breeze through this. But it always points toward Atsu, and that's what Braxophone's trying to say is Atsu is the source of all these issues. And this is where things get even more interesting. So, what happened yesterday, well, what else happened yesterday, is that more and more people started getting involved. More and more people like Sekapoko, Goose, and more other creators, even Dish, one of Atsu's close circle friends, said that yes, Atsu is the source of all this. Atsu is the reason that Brax got excommunicadoed. Sekapoko basically said, yeah, he had experiences with Atsu like that, where Atsu just has the power to say, yo, you're not allowed to come. And this is where things got even more crazy. So, basically, and this is complete speculation, but it's very strong, circumstantial, very, very too coincidental speculation. In a message, for disclosure, Atsu just deleted his whole tweet that basically pointed out this message, but I was able to get screenshots of people reading this. So, and I have like 2 people looking at this. I'll read this one because it's more clear. So Brax sends to Atsu. This is from Atsu's phone. Atsu shared this, but Atsu didn't realize that it actually works against him. Yo, could I ask you some Genshin Hoyoverse business related stuff? You definitely know this space better than I do, and this is going to be a pretty big deal for me if it goes through. I'd ask others, but I don't know how many creators getting deals like this. Sure. This is Atsu saying, sure. And then he goes on to say, what sort of things should I be looking for at a total content buyout? Not sure exactly how I should price myself, and the company wants to buy exclusivity, no content, including streams on competing games and rights and yada yada yada. Just basically more business related stuff. But the fact that Atsu openly said, pretty much, yeah, I can do this for you, and he was even interviewed by Mtashed and Asmongold, and he confirmed this. He confirmed that he can do this for Brax. He can do this for other content creators. Even Mtashed asked him if he could help him out, and Atsu said, "Yeah, I could pull for you." But then Mtashed and Asmongold said, "You do realize," and this was kind of them trying to create a gotcha moment. You do realize that a door can swing both ways. If you are able to pull for someone to get these kind of deals, then the opposite can be true. You can push to have that door closed. In other words, you can blacklist somebody and make them not involved. Get them basically screwed over. And that was what Brax was trying to say, is Atsu can and did screw him over. And the speculation is that because he did that to Brax, and it apparently looks like he did that to Mtashed and maybe Tectone too. That's the thing. A door swings both ways.
So, wait, what are we talking about? Sorry, okay, sorry, could you... Wait, what are you talking about here?
Okay, so in all of these sponsored events that you've done for Hoyoverse,
yes.
Did you have any?
I have the stream up right now, and you have the Gamescom one, right?
Yeah, and also the Anime Expo one too. Did you have any sort of control over?
No, for both of these, I was actually added very last minute.
Okay.
So for the Gamescom one,
you had no control and no feedback and no interaction at all with any of the people that you were being added in with. Is that correct?
Yes. So are you asking like if I was speaking to Hoyoverse staff or other content creators?
If you were speaking to Hoyoverse staff.
No, yeah, I was added in as one of the last people for both of these events.
So for both of those events. Okay, so for any other event that you did with Hoyoverse, did you ever give them any sort of like say, oh hey, I think you should bring this person, or I like this person? Did they ever ask you that?
No, but there is one instance, and this is the one that Brax is talking about in his document, where
Right.
I sent an email to Hoyoverse. I pitched to them, like, oh, all these content creators are coming to Anime Expo. Like, are you guys doing anything? And a bunch of us are going to be in a singular Airbnb so we can do content for you. So I pitched them like an idea of what to do. That was like a very, very long time ago. I think that was the first Anime Expo that like content creators went to for Genshin.
Sure.
So Genshin did not do anything with that until I think Honkai, they wanted to promote Honkai Star Rail, and that was their initial intention from my understanding. And because we were already conveniently together in one Airbnb, they took us on. And this is the one where Brax is saying I took a pay cut, but I think he's confusing this with another convention, which is a Filipino convention called Conquest, which is one that I did take a pay cut for, and I directly went to the con organizer, and I was like, this content creator would be good, this content creator would be good, and kind of like a pseudo agent. And it wasn't just like Genshin creators. I went through a bunch of creators. So yeah.
So let's go back to the Honkai thing first, and then we can talk about the pay cut. So the first thing is that with Honkai Star, is this Honkai Star Rail, I'm assuming?
Honkai Star Rail, yeah.
So you did in fact influence them. It's just that you didn't influence them at the time that you attempted to. Is that
This
correct?
is the thing. This is a big one.
Because you're saying that they used the list.
He could have influenced them.
Advice,
they did take a pay cut and do it
at the moment.
So he has pull.
But they then later on came back and then did it. Is that correct?
Oh no. I emailed them, and I said that we're gonna be in Anime Expo, or we are thinking of going to Anime Expo. Like, is there something we can do here? So none of this was set in stone until they specifically said yes to XYZ creators that were going to be in this house. Because like not everyone in the Airbnb ended up sponsored, and other people also were sponsored that weren't in the Airbnb and that weren't part of the group.
So they made decisions on the people who would and would not be allowed in?
Yes, they're the ones that made the decisions on that, yeah.
And so because they made that decision and you found that out, that implies that you provided the list.
I gave them a list of people that would be in our Airbnb.
This is a crazy one.
Everyone that was sponsored.
Right, of course, because some of them weren't given the approval. But it does imply
But if that means he impacted.
No, sorry. I mean like some of the people who are not content creators related to the Airbnb were also sponsored.
Sure. Yeah, of course, right? I'm not saying that you had complete control. You did have a degree of control because you provided them a list of people.
But you could influence it.
Who you're nudging in. Exactly. You're nudging in.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you did provide a list to Hoyoverse, and then Hoyoverse did sponsor people or not sponsor people, but Hoyoverse made their own decision off of that.
He might be getting cooked here.
He's getting cooked. He's getting cooked.
Okay, so you did control it to a degree.
I would say yes, I did control that to a degree in that sense.
It's fucked. It's over.
All right, so that makes sense. And now let's go back over to what was the thing that you were talking? Okay, and how? Why exactly did you take a pay cut? Could you explain a little bit of that to me?
Well, the Filipino economy is not as strong as like the like the American standard for sponsorships. It's definitely a big mismatch because of the currency conversion. So
yeah.
But I really wanted this to be a thing. So I was like, okay, if I slash my own pay, would that be fine for like the overall budget you're willing to allocate for the group of people that are going?
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you want to slash so you slashed your own pay to get
But if that's the case, does that not mean if he can influence Conquest, could he not influence Hoyoverse that he's even closer with?
I'm looking. Okay, go ahead.
Like if you, the only thing I'll say is like if you're able to influence Conquest by slashing your own budget to get people there, like does that also not show like shit? We've got a lot of power to influence who does get jobs and who doesn't, and like that's why people are linking it together. Of like, well, whatever Atsu says goes.
So what this implies, and I'll elaborate because they kind of jump around it, is that because he was able to cut his pay. Therefore, part of his pay is going to the budget of the event. Therefore, in a sense, he is, in a way, sponsoring the event because part of his pay is going to the budget. So, therefore, that allows him to have influence on what goes on in the event. That is basically what the implication is because he's basically funding, in a way, the event because he cut his pay.
It's very hard. And did you ever speak with Hoyoverse staff about Brax?
About Braxophone?
I can't say
Yeah.
anything yet. I have to wait. I can't
yes,
just interject
because
here.
when he DM'd
I want
me
him to come
about
to his own
that
conclusion.
contract stuff,
Yeah.
I was intrigued.
Can you elaborate on that?
He has to come to his own
No, I
conclusion
I
here
was just-
first.
I was just
I don't want to sway
curious
him.
about what it was about.
And so so what you're implying here is that after Brax messaged you asking about advice for this contract,
Yeah.
then you messaged somebody at Hoyoverse?
I messaged someone at Hoverse, yeah.
And what did you ask them?
Oh, what is this about?
What's it about? Okay.
Yeah.
And did Brax get get that deal? Did that deal happen for him?
I don't know.
Okay.
Brax said it didn't happen.
It did not happen.
Yeah, can I touch on the Hoyoverse stuff as well?
Sure.
So every single content creator can have access to Hoyoverse contacts. And when Mike was talking about me trying to patch up his relationship with Hoyoverse, it wasn't anything that serious. That's something even Braxphone could have done. That's something someone else could have done.
Why do you
Like
think
just
that they
putting, sorry,
Sorry,
just
go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry, just putting Mike in contact with someone is something any content creator under Hoyoverse can do. And I feel like this is pretty clear because later on, even in Brax's own statement, he says he goes through a Hoyoverse contact to try and get to me.
Well, he talked to somebody who was at the convention, so it's not like he really talked to them through a channel that he had available to them. I think that
Oh,
he talked to them.
no. So for me, as far as I'm aware, he messaged 3 different Hoyoverse staff to try and talk to me.
Okay, so basically, Brax is saying that he doesn't have a line to Hoyoverse, but in fact he does.
No, he's not saying he doesn't have a line. I'm just saying my
Right.
point is content creators that are unfortunately not like Mike, who are hated supposedly or blacklisted by
Yeah.
the company, they all have a line to Hoyoverse because we have like these creator servers on like Discord
Yeah,
where
yeah.
there's content creators
WoW
and
has it
you
too.
work with Hoyoverse. Yeah.
So why do they say that they don't then?
I don't think Brax said that, did he?
Well, I think the implication
Tectone
is
doesn't, but Brax does. So Tectone and Mike don't have any lines to Hoyoverse. I think Tectone used to, but then he got blacklisted.
Okay.
And then Braxophone has always had lines to Hoyoverse. But
Okay.
that's like the same for many content creators, regardless of size.
Okay. That's very hard for me to like. I can't really verify any of that. I do want to go back to. It does seem.
I can send a screenshot of the server
No, I
where
believe that you
everyone
have a
is
server.
in.
Like I believe that. Like, many games have this. Like I'm
Yeah.
in 2 or 3 of them myself. I believe that. I can see it to be very unsettling, from Brax's perspective, to hear
Yeah.
that you had openly expressed your dislike for Brax to a lot of friends of yours. And did you ever talk to anybody from Hoyoverse about how you felt about Brax?
No.
Not at all.
No. Oh,
Okay.
no. Sorry, I did. Yes.
Okay, you did. So what did you tell them?
Well, this is because they contacted them to talk to me, and I was like,
They
I don't want this.
them. Who
As in,
contacted who?
Brax contacted them to talk to
Brax
me.
contacted Hoyoverse in order to talk to you.
To talk to me,
and
and
then
I told them
Hoyoverse-
I want
This
to
is
be
why
left
I don't
alone.
fucking say anything. Just wait.
So you didn't, but you just said that you talked to them about how you felt about Brax. Now you're saying I want to be left alone. This is a neutral statement.
No. So I'm referring to, if you open his document at the bottom.
Yes. Right.
The one I'm talking about now is where
I know the
he says
conclusion
he
Asmon's
messaged
coming to.
Hoyoverse staff to get
I know.
things.
Yeah.
I don't
They
see
were
it, but yeah.
unsuccessful in opening a dialogue and ended up ghosting me for a few months because they were
Yeah.
unsatisfied with the outcome while trying to find other ways to solve
Yes.
things.
And this person had messaged me about Brax before, asking like what's going on between
And
you
this
guys.
person is a Hoyoverse employee.
Is a Hoyoverse employee, yes.
Right. And did you contact that Hoyoverse employee in the future as well? Was that the person that you had asked about the contract that Brax had?
The contract was way before this.
Okay.
This, when Brax asked them, yeah.
So you're saying that like you didn't have any influence because Brax didn't get this contract, but you are saying that you talked to Hoyoverse, but in the process of talking with them, you never badmouthed Brax and caused him to not get the contract.
No.
Okay. And again, like I don't know if that's true. Like I don't have
I
the
understand that.
information.
That's fair. No, that's
I don't
fair.
have the information to know if that's true. I just want to make sure that like, I know exactly what you're saying. Okay. So all of this comes out about you. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was the stuff with what's the name? Goose.
Yeah.
Tectone's old roommate.
Yes.
So you were subtweeting about him.
I was What is a subtweet?
A subtweet is whenever you make a tweet about a person, but you don't explicitly name
Oh,
them.
no. Sorry, I meant like what was the subtweet?
I'll read the tweet to you.
Sorry, before we move on, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I have to say this. I've been holding my tongue. Is if you found out from Brax that he might potentially have a contract with Hoyo, and if you go to Hoyo and be like, hey, is it true that maybe you're working with Braxophone? That doesn't raise some major red flags. Like, wouldn't Hoyoverse be like, well, number one, how do you know about it? Number two, why are you asking about it? And it.
Well, they told me they don't know anything.
It just seems reaching out to Hoyo directly after talking with him is like, well, he was asking for advice on how much to make, or,
So you're totally right, Mtashed, that it's extremely sus. But the truth is that we don't have the information available to us.
Yes, true.
I don't think that I can, without a shadow of a doubt, say, fucking, he came in there, Atsu came in there, and poisoned the well, so Brax didn't get the contract. Now, is that possible that Atsu did that? It is definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people think that's what Atsu did. But we don't have any evidence for that. And so I don't think it's worth pursuing a assumption.
And that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. And that's pretty much the end of the clip that I want to share from this interaction, this discussion. And I just want to basically weigh in here because I think that out of everything, yes, it is weird and it is completely baffling when it comes to why Atsu just went out of his way to just presumably screw over Brax. And even more so, not even like elaborate on why. Why do you not like me aside from the vibe check? Why is it that you find me completely untrustworthy? Why is it that you are willing to go these lengths based on what he heard from his friends that he is essentially being excommunicadoed, blacklisted, and everything points to Atsu. And then when you look at all these other creators, Sekapoko, Dish, and so on and so forth, there are many creators that have basically pointed to, yes, Atsu does this stuff. And then when you and when you see multiple dots on the picture, and you are able to draw one line to one, and then draw another line to another one, and then another line to another one, you're starting to be able to draw a picture. And the picture becomes much more clear. Atsu is, as Asmongold was saying, is very sus. And then when you listen to this conversation, where Atsu basically confirms, yes, he has contacts in Hoyoverse. Yes, he has discussions with Hoyoverse. And he even admits, and Mtashed and Asmongold were able to get it out of him. He is able to influence the roster, the list of names of content creators that can be at these events, be at these meetups. It just looks so sus, and even go as far as the contracts. And yes, there is no concrete evidence. Asmongold is absolutely right. There is no concrete evidence that points to this. But when you listen to this discussion, when you listen to the amount of names that are coming forth and saying, yes, Atsu has played a role in some of these things, by circumstantial, coincidental evidence, I use that term loosely, it makes you look extremely suspicious. And I'll say this, and yes, I am a small content creator, but I am involved in business. I am involved in actually manufacturing business. If I heard that somebody in the business is doing very, very shady negotiation tactics, I am going to be very wary of them. I am going to be very, very cautious of doing business with them. And in fact, I would probably do my best to work around being involved with this individual when conducting any kind of business or negotiations. But that is the issue with Atsu. And then everything just gets worse. I wanted to cover this part for Atsu, but things literally kept getting worse yesterday. I actually was watching Tectone and Enviosity streams at this time when their beef went down. So I had I was practically there. So just literally in the middle of the Atsu drama, and this makes Enviosity look extremely sus. Enviosity puts up this thread, this 18 tweet thread. And I'm not going to literally read all of it. I'm not reading all of this, but I'm going to basically go through some of it. This will be the first and last time I'll make a public statement about my experience with Tectone over 3 years. The control he has had on my life, the PTSD, and summary of it all, I owe the recent events which has encouraged me to speak the truth. Due to my recent actions, I have quickly learned that staying silent for 3 years is allowing this trauma to develop inside of me rather than addressing it will regrettably result in hot-tempered takes and me acting out as someone I'm not. It all started with the prolonged period of him badgering me for our daily streams. I go live when he's live. Envy, let me know before you stream. Half my viewers always leave to watch you. Can you stream later? My community was confused why I had to cater to him. And honestly, and I watched Envy and Tectone have a chat on stream. I watched the whole thing. Tectone literally told Envy that the only reason he was asking him, let me know before you stream. Hey, half my viewers always leave to watch you. But he was also referring that he was saying that in the vice versa sense too, that his viewers would also leave to come and watch him. It was a back and forth thing when it came to their chats and their viewers. Whenever Tectone was doing something crazy, Envy's chat would go watch Tectone. When Envy was doing like his free-to-play Spiral Abyss runs and Tectone wasn't really doing much, Tectone's viewers would go and watch Envy. This was literally a back and forth thing. And the reason that he was asking if you can stream later, he was also saying that he would be willing to do the opposite, that he would try to work his streams before his. That way they would not counter-program each other. Tectone was trying to tell Envy and work with Envy about making sure they weren't screwing each other over. He was going out of his way to try to help him. And I don't have the video. I don't even know if the video's on Twitch anymore because this was like 2 or 3 years ago. But I watched it. I witnessed it. And then this is where it gets absolutely disgusting, and there is no excuse for this. None. Unfortunately, I had to isolate myself and block out anything involving him due to the constant stress. Because of this, I ended up missing some pretty big news and disturbing clips involving him, which I found out about a couple days ago. Inexcusable behavior. Now, I'm not going to play this. I am not going to play the audio for this because, and I did listen to it, but I'm not going to play it on stream. But honestly, this is a dispute, and it wasn't even that big of a deal of a dispute about them picking on each other. And it was a bit of a debate, it was a bit of an argument, but as you can tell, they're not even shouting. They're not even yelling at each other. Tectone, she's got a smile on his face while picking on her. She's smiling too. And yes, what's going on right now is a bit of an argument. But it's not even, but you can tell by the body language that it's not even that big of a deal. And what I was saying at the time was, and what Envy doesn't understand is married couples argument. I am in a relationship myself. Have I had arguments with my lady? Yes. Me and my lady have arguments. Me and my lady has had disputes. Me and my lady have had moments where we are going at each other. Emotions get heated, emotions rise, and you sometimes say things that you don't mean. Now, if this was physical, if this was a physical dispute, if this was like clear emotional or mental abuse, that's one thing. That's a completely different thing. But this was just a couple having a debate. And as you can still see here, she's still smiling, and it didn't even boil over. And to bring up someone's relationship, bring up something that was clearly between a couple, even if it was streamed in this sense, is just throwing a kick to the balls. And let me bring up one more point. The title of this thread is My, therefore Envy's, Trauma with Tectone. What is a dispute between a married couple at the time? Because Tectone and this lady, Freem, are no longer married anymore. What does this argument between a married couple at the time have to do with your trauma? What does it have to do with your trauma, Envy? Trauma. It has nothing to do with your trauma. You basically wanted to bring up a pointless debate between counter programming and you having thin skin. And yes, it's Tectone abrasive 100%, but you having thin skin and not being able to take a few jabs, and you just wanted to bring up a married couple just so you could be able to throw a kick to Tectone's balls. You had nothing. You knew you had nothing, and you wanted to bring up this as a way to get at Tectone. And I wish I could say that wasn't the end of it. I wish I could say that was all of it. But it gets worse. So basically, things got even more worse. So there was a back and forth between Tectone and Freem. Freem is Tectone's ex-wife. And there was a back and forth. Honestly, neither party looked good between Freem and Tectone. I think nothing should have been said in that situation. I think Tectone kind of poked the bear like he always does. And Freem probably should have just probably ignored it. That's my point on that. But Envy is not safe still. Envy fucked up even more. As you can see, Freem, there's a message going on between Envy and Freem. Envy obviously posted this, so therefore it comes from his phone. Has to be, and granted the context kind of explains it. Freem replies because, oh, that's fine. Therefore, Envy had to start the message. Because she's replying to him. Oh, that's fine. You can post about the car ride all you want. I'm sorry that you have to relive some of the pain. And this kind of disappoints me because, as far as I can tell, based on everything that's public, Envy's pain is just jabs, schoolyard jabs of you're a mint picker, you're a pay-to-win whale. I can play because I'm free to play. I'm better than you. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what was going on back then 3 years ago. But the fact that she consented to this is gross because she's willing to air it just for Envy's sake. Envy is gross because he clearly went to Freem just to be able to be allowed to share this. He replies, I was originally going to include the Reddit clip I found of the car ride, but also wasn't sure if you were okay with that either. It's already out there in the public, so I really don't mind at all. It's being spread like wildfire right now anyway. I can accept that clip, so if it ever helps your narrative, feel free to do so. It doesn't bother me a bit. Keyword narrative. If it helps your narrative, the story that you are trying to tell. And it's gross. And yes, I made a reply. So, and this essentially covers up my point here. So, you are proud that you got permission from a man's ex-wife to air their argument. What does this have to do with your trauma? Going back to the original post. Yeah, we now know Freem and Tectone are not on good terms. Clearly. But this proves how low you will sink just to get back at Tectone for calling you out. Fucking disgusting. And keep in mind, you did all this just because Techie picked on you because you were so proud of being free to play. And you don't like it when people pick at your ego. This is a bad look, Envy. And I think you have gone way too far. And I do stand by that. That's literally all this proves, is that you got permission from Freem, Tectone's ex-wife, to be able to put up that disgusting video that has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with us. And whatever went down between Freem and Tectone is not my business. This is her and his trauma. There was a divorce, clearly. Why should we care? I don't want to care. You brought this up. You put a spotlight on it, and it's just because you can't take being picked on. You can't take having your ego be jabbed. So I want to wrap this all up with this right here. Mtashed's final statements on this matter. Mtashed says, and I quote, "The fact about today's drama, one, it sucks. The whole community is pointing fingers and it's hard to be friends or trust anyone. 2, there is a lot of allegations that are difficult to even find proof for. Nobody can prove they said or didn't say anything with half of it. True. 3, everyone's feelings in this are valid. Regardless of what side you were on, like 20 people have all felt terrible for like 2.5 years straight over beef that is essentially junior high drama, exploded and impacted by 30,000 people, egging it on, and it all in chats. True. 4. I doubt anyone will back down and say it was their fault because everyone did something. But hope that moving forward, people can stop the subtweets and backstabbing. And I think this is partially true. I don't think everyone did something. I think there were some people that were just people that were dragged into it. People that were just bystanders that happened to be within the space of this community that had to play along. So, but you could argue that complicity in itself is being part of it. 5. I don't want to deal with this stuff anymore. I don't want to middleman for everyone hating each other. And true. Every bit of this is pretty much true. Everyone is pointing fingers. Everyone is blaming each other. And yes, everyone played a role in this. Mtashed himself agrees that, in a way, he played a role in this. He was blacklisted. And there were times where he made videos just kind of parodying others. So no one is a saint in all of this. No one is perfect. Everyone played a role. And that is the thing here. And Mtashed and Tectone both made statements that are also true in their videos they made about all this. Which is, it's going to be very interesting to see where this community goes forward. This whole dispute yesterday made everyone coming out of it different. Atsu is no longer ever going to be trusted. He can't be trusted. Everyone in Atsu's circle, that whole circle is now going to be looked at in a very, very weird way due to the fact that they had connections with Atsu. Tectone is now going to look more than ever like an abrasive dick. Mtashed, I would say he'd probably come out of this looking all right. He just basically looked like the middleman and a spectator in all of it. Braxophone, I mean, I honestly think he'll come out of it looking all right because in this case, he was potentially a victim of being screwed over. But on the other hand, I think in a way Braxophone misunderstood things just due to his social awkwardness. So again, he's not innocent completely in all of this either. And then Envy destroyed every bit of credibility and integrity he had trying to deflect all the attention off Atsu and just throwing in stuff that had nothing to do with him and just trying to kick Tectone's balls with the whole his ex-wife marriage stuff. It was a train wreck and a nuclear bomb that went off in the Genshin community, and no one can believe that much drama happened in one day. In fact, Asmongold made a video over it when he was having this discussion with Mtashed and Atsu, and titled the video Drama of the Year. It is one hell of a shitstorm when one of the top Twitch streamers can't help himself and wants to watch it all unfold and title it Drama of the Year, and it's only February. We're only barely a month into the year. And I want to remind everyone that at the end of all this, it's hilarious to reflect that this all stems from us just trying to do what should have been done, and that is boycott this team, the Genshin Impact Hoyoverse team. I think probably just about everyone forgot that this was what we were doing. This all started because we were just trying to boycott the Genshin Impact team so we could get positive change for the game. And it all got deflected because we wanted to shit on each other. Everyone in the Genshin community just wanted to shit on each other for basically a day and a half. So, great job. Great job. I think pretty much everyone forgot what the whole purpose of everything was. So, that's my take. That's my opinion. It was a crazy day. In fact, I woke up yesterday with the intent of making a video over Black Swan and her skills. I probably will eventually get to that video, but I never got around to it because I was too busy glued to my phone and Twitch watching all this go down. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys at least enjoyed it in the train wreck capacity. But thank you guys so much for watching. So head down in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought of all this. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear your thoughts. I thought it was an absolute train wreck. I don't think anyone came out of it looking good. Or at least not as bad as Envy. Envy came out of it looking like a disaster. Envy probably will never be looked at the same in my opinion. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys later.